Batman issue 111. This is kind of like the wrap up of the, I don't even remember the name of the arc, but it's like the Peacekeeper, Miracle Molly, like all these characters that Tynion is brought in. This is like the end of that arc before we get to like the Fear State stuff. And I think it's a serviceable ending. Now, I'm mixed on this current slate of Batman stuff just because, there's a lot to deal with. There's a lot of new stuff that is kind of intimidating if you didn't begin with it. And I just think, if you're new to Batman, this is a weird place to start because it's not going to be what you're expecting Batman to be. But it's not bad. It's just a lot to take in. And I think you have to prepare yourself for that when you get into this. So we open up this book like we do every single part of this run where we see like the evil Scarecrow infecting Batman. And we'll come back to that at the end because the book actually ends where this begins, which is very fascinating to see. And we ended last issue where Peacekeeper 1, Sean Mahoney, had his gun on Miracle Molly and Squeaker. And we just see how that's going to go out. So they try to shoot her. She dodges. She lets like a explosion go off in her eye or something, and then Squeaker's able to use like her power, and it just like blasts them all away. So they're on the run. They're trying to evade. But we see that is it Breaker comes in to help them. He's like the big bulky guy, and it's just a bunch of action. And if you haven't like been up to date with the Batman stuff, this is a lot to take in because you got a bunch of colorful characters in a bright colored neo-futuristic Gotham. And you're just like, who is this one with like the green hair? Who is like this bulky guy with like the red and green? And this woman who's screaming against like this Peacekeeper guy? Like, this is a lot. It's a lot to take in. So they're evading. When Miracle Molly is running away, we see Squeaker kind of gets hit by a stray bullet. And they're trying to figure out what to do, where they're going to go next. We see that Mr. Wyze has his people. They're safe in a room. It's not looking too good. Squeaker does get hit, and she's losing blood pretty fast, so we have to get her out of here. And luckily, coming in to save the day is characters that you do know. Batman and Harley Quinn are here. They're here to take out the Peacekeepers to get everything going. And Ghostmaker, again, a new character that is kind of like, he's interesting. I like Ghostmaker a lot. I think he's a fun parallel to Batman because in my headcanon, these two kissed or held hands a few too many times. I like it though. I think it's fun. So they're coming in. It's an action-heavy book, so don't expect like so much intense story. It's just kind of like Batman beating up some of these guys, and they're figuring out their next step. And you know what? It works serviceably well. We see that they got to get Squeaker out of there and save her, so we're going to put them on the Ghostmaker Ghost Stream ship, and we're going to have Breaker fight Peacekeeper 1 to get everybody out for safety. It's looking pretty good. They do manage to escape as a collective group, and Peacekeeper's like, okay, that didn't go well. But he's kind of like putting it aside, so we're going to let that ride for a bit. Then we cut to like a television broadcast from Mayor Nakano, and he's like, so I like what Peacekeeper did. I think they're doing the right thing. We learned that all these evil actions with the Unsanity Collective and everything is being created by Scarecrow, and we were learning that Batman is under his influence somehow, like Batman's doing something with him. It's hard to say, but that's just the case, so we're going to give Simon Saint more full control of bringing peace and order to our city. We're going to let Saint Industries do their evil thing. And Nakano, I can't tell if he's a puppet or he's involved with all of this and he understands what's going on. But he's definitely setting up the narrative that it's all Scarecrow, which it is as we come to the end to find out. Again, this is a lot to take in when it comes to Batman. And I'm not saying that as like a negative. I'm just thinking like, whoa, okay, let's just tell stories with characters that we know, and I think that's a better jumping on point. But this is a compelling enough story, but it's a lot. It's just a lot to take in. So we're saving Squeaker, and everybody's all colorful and bright, and we're going to keep her alive. But, Miracle Molly's kind of pissed off. She wants to get the city back, but we see that Bruce does have like a hit on where Scarecrow is. He's going to go talk to him alone. He's going to keep everybody here for some safekeeping for some reason. It's Batman, he's got to work alone sometimes. So he's going to leave. And we got to figure out where we're going to put all the Unsanity Collective to keep them safe. And Harley's got an idea. She's looking at the flower from Pamela. So that might be how Queen Ivy connects to the rest of this story. Now, if that was a lot to deal with, we do get a few final pages in this book where we do get kind of like some classic Batman stuff. We see on a couple of monitors that Batman's sneaking into where, Scarecrow's supposed to be. We kind of say this is actually Jonathan Crane. We don't actually see his face or anything. We just see that Simon Saint believes that it's Crane, so maybe it's going to be somebody else. We'll have to wait and see. But basically, Saint thinks he's controlling Scarecrow, but Scarecrow's playing a different game, and he uses like a huge amount of fear toxin. He kind of like takes down Peacekeeper 1. Like, this is the most that any human's been injected with like his fear toxin, so it could have a permanent defect on him. This is where the artwork really shines, in my opinion, because you just see like the intense colors, the fading out. It looks great. You just see like the line work on Scarecrow. Like, you don't have to go this hard when you're doing like this type of artwork, but you're doing like the extra details in here, and it just pops really well, and it looks really cool. So Peacekeeper 1 is kind of knocked out for the count right now, and we're going to let him go away. Simon Saint kind of throws up at the sight that, oh crap, Scarecrow has been manipulating me the whole time. I played right into his hand. That ain't good to see. And he's like, okay, Batman, you can come out now. I know you're here. Just come out and talk to me. Like, we're real people. Batman kind of like crashes through the ceiling. I kind of like that. And we just end this book where this arc began. So the arc I'm looking at here is called The Cowardly Lot. It opened up when we saw that Scarecrow infected Bruce. Now it is ending where that book starts, and we see that he's going to infect Bruce with like this weird toxin that he's fighting off for the past 6 issues. And that's kind of fun. Again, it's kind of fun. Like, fear state's coming up. That's going to be a big thing for Batman. I think it's going to get a lot more people interested in this arc because it's definitely Scarecrow who's in charge now, which is going to help a lot of people out. We get another backup in here. It's the Ghostmaker stuff continuing. It's cute. It's fun. It looks interesting. It's just giving Ghostmaker a little bit more to do. It looks like he's fighting like a Venom mummy type character with a bunch of like change and blades, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know if this is going to be for everyone. Like, Ghostmaker establishing his own world is pretty cool. And I kind of hope the character maybe gets a mini so we don't have to focus on this so much. But the book itself, it's pretty interesting. And this issue of Batman, well, I think it's a lot to deal with. The bright colors and the new characters can be intimidating. It sets itself up pretty well for a new arc, which is exactly what I think this book needed, because this one was just a lot happening. And I think now we can take a moment to step back, get Scarecrow and Ivy in their prominent roles here, and actually start to get a good book going again. It's been solid, but I think we can do better. I think we can just get to the next part in this book. Hopefully it works. We'll have to wait and see. So Batman issue 111, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.